Welcome to Gen U Games. Get ready to punch, kick and combo your way through the best beat-em-ups on Nintendo Switch. This lineup blends classic arcade nostalgia with modern twists, featuring co-op chaos, pixel-perfect visuals, and non-stop action. From TMNT, Shredder's Revenge to Mayhem Brawler, these games deliver hordes of enemies, epic boss fights, and retro vibes. Whether you're a longtime fan or new to the genre, these 20 titles are packed with addictive, fist-pumping fun. Set 10 years after the events of Streets of Rage 3, Streets of Rage 4 brings players back to the crime-ridden city where a new threat has emerged. Mr. X, the previous crime syndicate boss, is gone, but his twin children, the Y-Twins, have taken over, using technology and corruption to control the city. The legendary fighters Axel Stone and Blaze Fielding return, joined by new allies Cherry Hunter, daughter of Adam Hunter, and Floyd Araya, a cyber-enhanced fighter, trained by Dr. Zan. The heroes must fight their way through waves of enemies, corrupt cops, and the Y Syndicate's enforcers, traveling across urban landscapes, underground arenas, and even airships to stop the Y-Twins' plan for total domination. River City Girls Zero is a remastered version of the classic Shin Neketsu Koha, Kunio Tachi no Banka, originally released on the Super Famicom in 1994. Kunio and Riki, two tough high school delinquents, find themselves wrongfully imprisoned for a crime they didn't commit. Determined to clear their names, they break out of jail with the help of their girlfriends, Misako and Kyoko. The four heroes brawl through gang-infested streets, schools, and biker hideouts, fighting to clear their names and expose the true masterminds behind the conspiracy. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the Game Complete Edition, is a remastered re-release of the cult classic 2D beat-em-up, originally launched in 2010. Play as your favorite characters, Scott Pilgrim, Ramona Flowers, Knives Chow, Steven Stills and more. Level up and learn new awesome abilities, unlock secret items and modes, summon powerful allies, team up with friends, and combine your skills to battle your way through waves of tough enemies, or compete with them in awesome minigames like Dodgeball. All on your way to defeat the League of Ramona's evil exes. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Shredder's Revenge, features groundbreaking gameplay rooted in timeless classic brawling mechanics. Brought to you by the beat-em-up experts at Dotemu and Tribute Games. Bash your way through gorgeous pixel art environments, and slay tons of hellacious enemies with your favorite turtle, each with his own skills and moves, making each run unique. Choose a fighter. Use radical combos to defeat your opponents, and experience intense combats loaded with breathtaking action and outrageous ninja abilities. Stay sharp as you face off against Shredder and his faithful Foot Clan alone, or grab your best buds and play with up to 4 players simultaneously. The Capcom Beat 'em Up Bundle is a collection of 7 classic arcade beat 'em up games, bringing back the golden age of side-scrolling action. This comprehensive collection includes 7 classic games, each with various multiplayer options, online capabilities and detailed galleries. Say goodbye to game overs, adjust your difficulty settings, or give yourself more lives to battle through each game in its entirety. You can also play the English or Japanese versions of each title. Games included: Final Fight, Captain Commando, The King of Dragons, Knights of the Round and Warriors of Fate, as well as 2 games that were previously unavailable on consoles, Armored Warriors and Battle Circuit. Grab some friends, stare down the bad guys and beat 'em up. Double Dragon Gaiden. Rise of the Dragons is a fresh take on the classic Double Dragon series, blending roguelite mechanics with the beloved side-scrolling beat-em-up action. Prepare to throw down the Double Dragon way in this fresh addition to the iconic beat-em-up franchise. It's the year 199X, and nuclear war has devastated New York City, leaving its citizens to fight for survival, as riots and crime engulf the streets. The city has been overtaken by criminal gangs who terrorize its ruins as they fight for total dominance. Unwilling to endure these conditions any longer, young Billy and Jimmy Lee take it upon themselves to drive the gangs out of their city. Fight and Rage is a brand new old-school side-scroller beat-em-up. Inspired by the classics from the Golden Age, and with an art style that mimics the aesthetic from the 90s arcade gems, this game pays homage to all classic gameplay features that makes this genre one of the best from its time. Set in a post-apocalyptic world ruled by mutant beasts, humans struggle to survive against their oppressive overlords. 3 warriors, Galahad, a martial artist, F. Norris, a fast-kicking rebel, and Ricardo, a powerful Minotaur wrestler, join forces to overthrow the mutant reign and restore balance to the world. Your choices during the game determine the story path and ending, adding replayability and encouraging multiple playthroughs. Raging Justice is a modern beat-em-up inspired by the classic arcade era, developed by Macon Games and published by Team 17. Featuring hand-drawn 3D visuals with old-school side-scrolling combat, while adding its own unique twists, including an arrest system and branching morality choices. He City has fallen into lawless chaos, ruled by violent gangs. You play as 3 tough law enforcers, Rick Justice, a retired cop, Nikki Rage, a street-smart detective, and Ashley King, a fast-hitting brawler, as they clean up the streets and restore order through fists and batons. You can either beat criminals into submission, or arrest them, which affects your score, and how the game unfolds. Phantom Breaker Battlegrounds is a chibi-style side-scrolling beat-em-up with fast-paced combat, RPG mechanics, and anime-inspired visuals. The Phantom, a mysterious villain, kidnaps Waka, a priestess of the Kumon family. Her allies, Mikoto, Itsuki, Yuzuha, and Waka's younger self, Nagi, set out to rescue her, battling through dimensional rifts, urban streets, temples and cyberspace, all while fighting Phantom's minions and rival warriors. The group must grow stronger, unlock new abilities, and defeat Phantom before the boundaries between worlds collapse. Big Helmet Heroes is a 3D beat-em-up game that combines combat and adventure, offering both solo and local co-op gameplay. In Big Helmet Heroes, players embark on a quest to rescue a kidnapped princess, a classic trope that the game embraces with tongue-in-cheek humor. The adventure begins in a medieval setting, where players face off against mischievous goblins. As the journey progresses, the environments and adversaries become increasingly eclectic. This unpredictable progression keeps players engaged, as they never know what quirky scenario awaits next. Big Rumble Boxing Creed Champions is an arcade-style boxing game developed by Servios, available on the Nintendo Switch. The game allows players to step into the ring as iconic characters from the Creed and Rocky film series. Do you have what it takes to be a champion? Step into the ring in Big Rumble Boxing Creed Champions as you train, fight, and win like the legends, such as Adonis Creed and Rocky Balboa, in this knockout arcade boxing experience. Rise through the ranks in an intense arcade mode, hone your skills in classic Rocky training montages, and go head-to-head with friends in thrilling local competitive multiplayer. Bud Spencer and Terence Hill Slaps and Beans 2 is a sequel to the original beat-em-up game that pays homage to the iconic Italian comedy duo Bud Spencer and Terence Hill. Slaps and Beans 2 returns as a scrolling fighting game with a retro gaming company op or single-player look with a platform mechanic that allows the player to control Bud Spencer and Terence Hill in a revised and improved version of the combat system. Brand new environment dynamics that progressively add enemies as the difficulty increases, and of course again with lots of funny quotes. New mini-games that can be played repeatedly in a dedicated party play area for up to 4 players. Re-experience the 2017 arcade classic with 3 additional stages and 6 additional boss battles. Take control of Leonardo, Michelangelo, Donatello or Raphael in this classic beat-em-up, inspired by the cult favorite Turtles in Time. The Turtles discover that their longtime nemesis, Shredder, has unleashed a new wave of chaos in the city. He has mutated several villains, making them stronger and more dangerous than ever before. With April O'Neil and Master Splinter supporting them, the Turtles set out to defeat the mutant-powered enemies and put an end to Shredder's plans. Jitsu Squad is a 4-player co-op beat-em-up with fast-paced cartoony action and wacky chaotic battles. Players can control one of 4 anthropomorphic characters, Hero, Baby, Jazz, and Aros, each possessing unique abilities and playstyles. The game offers both single-player and local co-op modes, supporting up to 4 players simultaneously. The narrative centers around the legendary Kusanagi Stone, which grants godly powers to its possessor. The evil sorcerer Origami seeks this stone, and it's up to the Jitsu Squad to prevent its power from falling into the wrong hands. COBRA rears its ugly head yet again, and it's up to G.I. Joe to save the world. Embracing the 1980s era of the iconic universe, Wrath of COBRA is a retro side-scrolling beat-em-up. Play as one of the legendary G.I. Joe characters, including Duke, Scarlet, Roadblock, Snake Eyes and more. Defeat hordes of COBRA troopers, Vipers, Crimson Guards, and more of COBRA's malevolent machinations. Bring COBRA down, striking back at the likes of Destro, Serpentor, Baroness, and COBRA Commander himself. Fight your own way, rely on your fists, and get up close and personal using each character's unique combos and special moves, or keep your foes at a distance with a variety of weapons. Sweeping across iconic locations of the first three classic The Karate Kid movies from the 1980s, you'll step out of the dojo and into the streets of the West Valley and Okinawa, as you battle waves of enemies in this pixel art side-scrolling beat-em-up adventure. Play as Daniel LaRusso, Mr. Miyagi, Ali Mills, or Kumiko, as you set out to defeat Johnny Lawrence, John Kreese, Terry Silver, and others, intent on establishing dominance over Miyagi-Do karate forever. This game features intense martial arts combat and frenetic action mixed with plenty of retro flair from the original movies.
It's Morphin time!
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Rita's Rewind is an action-packed side-scrolling beat-em-up game available on the Nintendo Switch. Released on December 10, 2024, the game features the Power Rangers battling against Robo-Rita, a robotic reincarnation of their nemesis, who travels back in time to team up with her younger self, Rita Repulsa, aiming to alter the course of history. The evil Rita Repulsa has discovered a way to manipulate time, and she uses this power to rewind history to a point before the Power Rangers were formed. Her goal is to alter the timeline, ensuring her victory and the Rangers' defeat. With time itself unraveling, it's up to the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers to fight back, restore the timeline, and stop Rita's sinister plans. Vengeance Hunters is a retro-inspired beat-em-up game developed by Nalua Studio SLU, originally designed for the Neo Geo hardware and now available on modern platforms, including the Nintendo Switch. Vengeance Hunters is set in a dystopian world overrun by crime, corruption, and brutal gangs. Society is on the brink of collapse, as powerful criminal organizations control the streets, leaving innocent civilians to fend for themselves. You play as one of the Vengeance Hunters, elite fighters with unique skills, each carrying a dark past and an unbreakable will to bring down the syndicates. As they battle through the slums, wastelands, and neon-lit cityscapes, they uncover a larger conspiracy, one that threatens not just their own survival but the fate of the entire world. When the city's last honest mayor is assassinated, a power vacuum erupts, plunging fallen city into deeper turmoil. With the police force compromised and no heroes left to fight back, only a few brave warriors dare to stand up against the anarchy. You step into the shoes of a ragtag team of fighters, each with their own reasons for seeking justice. Whether it's Sergeant Clay, the last good cop determined to restore order, Rico, a former gang enforcer looking for redemption, Natasha, a vigilante engineer seeking revenge, or Iron Jackson, an ex-wrestler with nothing to lose, their fates are now intertwined in a battle for survival. Mayhem Brawler is an urban fantasy-themed beat-em-up that brings back the 90s arcade vibe to present day. The game begins with the trio responding to a distress call in the heart of the city. What starts as a typical mission quickly escalates into a chaotic battle against hordes of supernatural enemies, including werewolves, demons, and other mythical creatures. As they fight their way through the city, they uncover a dark plot orchestrated by a powerful and mysterious organization. The story unfolds through a series of branching paths, with players' decisions influencing the narrative and leading to multiple endings. Along the way, the heroes encounter allies, enemies, and morally ambiguous characters, each with their own motivations and secrets. The branching storyline adds replayability, as players can explore different outcomes based on their choices,